Hey, welcome to I'm Jennifer Roberts, and this is True Define 44, and you are getting me on another writing on the wall. So I've been having fun learning out of necessity and out of a knowing that I need to, and I enjoy it. Regarding holistic therapies, yeah, I do them and make my own ointments and stuff, make my own oils, but at the same time, I've amped it up a bit more because this is never a done experience. You realize nature has got so much to teach, and it actually morphs and changes. I feel that it actually for the imbalances that we create for the most part, or for the imbalances that just are created, it creates something else, like these worms that eat plastic, for instance. And so it's a magical thing. And those of you who know me know that I've been going into the fungi rabbit hole, so to speak, and it is a deep hole. There is lots to know, and I'm in no way, shape, or means even a moderately good apprentice yet. I'm really learning, but I am learning. I found quite a rare one the other day, and that was really cool. And so been looking into it, and for those of you that will recall, I did speak about fungi. It's going to be very much needed. The knowledge of it is going to be very much needed, and also as a treatment, as a counteractive treatment to what is being put out there deliberately by these shadowy beings behind the puppeted government, that to get things that kill parasites in your cupboards, to get parasitic killers in ointments, things like that in your cupboards ready, because there is something very much of a parasitic nature happening right now, a takeover where parasites that can be tiny, but they can eat away the full body, and take over very, very quickly in the grand scheme of things. And that's been coming through for a while, and that has sort of propelled me even more into knowing that, well, fungus, very often there is an answer for fungus in fungus to kill off certain fungal infections or parasitic infections, if that's the right word, is fungus. There is a lot that can be derived and changed and used into different ointments and whatnot, lotions, tinctures. And so that's something that I sort of gave forewarning about, and I still stand by that also. But just in researching and looking, the fungi is a shamanic experience in itself, because just the knowledge that's out there, and I am so grateful and feel very, very blessed and relieved that there are such experts out there that are quite willing to share their knowledge freely and so beautifully, because it is such a deep subject, and it is almost like the ayahuasca journey, but you're going on this expedition of knowledge, and it ties into so much of life, the answers that you get, the contemplations, and more importantly, the questions that arise from looking in to these avenues of knowledge. And so it came up with something, and I'm looking at notes. I'll share the screen 1 second, and where are we? Share the screen. So there is these two categories of mushroom types, and one of them is saprobic mushrooms, and it says that I've written here that they're the rotters. They grow on dead wood, they grow above the ground, you see them, and they're good, they keep things in balance, and they eat away at the dead, things, the debris, and obviously they can eat away at good flesh too, but they keep forests in balance and whatnot. So they are the ones that you see, that you come across, beautiful things, so different. I mean, look at this, crazy. A lot of people would just walk past that, never knowing it's a mushroom. So yeah, it's I found some of those the other day. And so these are the amazing types of of mushrooms of the saprobic kind that are above ground. I actually found some of these the other day, and there's a one that mimics it that is super poisonous, and a one that is real good and real nice for you. So yeah, they are the ones that you'll see above ground. So then you go to the other category, which is the mycorrhizal, bear with me, mushroom. And this is what is underground. And so it says here that they're underground and they're made up of huge 3D shapes, like spider web type of things that are like tiny tubes, which are a web of mycelium made up of tiny tubes called hyphae, it says here, and these would be the tiny tubes creating what is a matrix, a system underground, which what happens here is these ones are the ones that they can't hunt because they are underground. So they feed they make a mycorrhizal relationship with trees or plants. And in this relationship, they use these tubes, this system, this web, to break into the tree roots, and they don't kill the tree. They actually create this symbiotic relationship that helps sustain both of them, and that they will expand the root system by breaking down rocks to give the tree minerals, and it will deliver the tree minerals and live off the excess root system, I suppose. They want their hosts to be big and strong and vast, and so they help out by sort of piggybacking off them. But are they piggybacking off them because they're actually giving them what the tree wouldn't naturally be able to break down quite so easily? And so this is a world, inner earth, within itself, in the way that this is so vast and stretches over such an area. It's phenomenal. And so it's really a magical system, and it's a communicative system, in that it's measuring what the tree needs and giving it what the tree needs. And it's a super industrious system. And so it got me thinking, in that there are these things that reflect in on everything. And this is, to me, could be, it depends what the intent is, doesn't it? Because you have people entering into relationships deliberately, looking like they're going to be a partner, something of a give and take rather than just a take. And they'll do that for a very short amount of time to sort of fool you into becoming a partnership, which would be a separate body in of itself, the two becoming three almost, because you have the two individuals creating this reality that becomes very, very real when you're in it, which is the relationship. So there's always three in a relationship at minimum. And so, but then they trick you, and then they feed off you, and then you get others that absolutely enter into relationships with wholeness and balance and love and appreciation, and they share out, they feed each other, they feed from each other, and give each other. And so this can be both a beautiful and very, very negative thing. So looking at what is happening right now, and me seeing the differences in people's auras, and what I predicted would happen, this thing that I saw multiplying and duplicating in the body, now we see that everybody's talking about that. And it's not that I'm happy that I called that out early on, it's just that that is happening. And there is this host body system being made. I have brought light to it in talks, public talks, and in videos, to say it's going to be very odd to be dealing with loved ones who look the same, but maybe don't even smell the same and are certainly not acting the same, because they've become like a host body to something else. They've entered into a relationship with something else, and we're seeing this develop. And so we're seeing that this host body thing is very real, and we can't actually get away from it. It's about the balance of life in this reality. We actually, if you think about it, host a body in that we with consciousness activate this avatar, but it's a body within itself. You know, it duplicates and creates its own cells to be able to host such a being. And so there is this host body system going on here, and I really do feel that this parasitic energy that is coming through real strong is something to really take note of. So I just wanted to make people aware again of what I've called out way back when, what I called out before they even brought out these infusions, you know, the kind of things that it would do to the body, just to be aware and be stocked up on things, even holistic things as well as pharmaceutical things that kill parasites. It's really coming in strong, and I know that that has sort of been, you know, validated by the either, you know, I'm not going to say the right word, but you know that's what it's used for, especially in the equine world. But the more so than that, this is that's been validated, but that's not me done with this feeling of this reading that has kept coming through. This is to be taken very seriously regarding having the stocks and the wares and the holistic knowledge of how to try and combat this parasitic type of takeover. There is this I keep feeling those insects, and I can't think of their names, but you know, where they literally take over a body and go to the brain and make the insect commit suicide. I've forgotten the name, but yeah, that's the energy that I'm getting, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And on the march yesterday, trying to fight for rights, you know, we are deliberately just now, and I'm questionable about it, I go back and forth, being very careful to be peaceful and respectful. And as I called, it would be, we are starting to see in incremental amounts the anger. You don't have to even speak to the people just standing by, that we're not bothering how angry they are. They're triggered into anger before you've even said anything to them, and we're seeing that more and more and more, and I feel like that's going to really shoot up over the next 2 weeks or so. And so just to be aware of this, it is a very difficult thing to deal with, because again, it's almost it's an illusion, isn't it? It's a trick of the mind, because you're looking at somebody who looks the same as somebody that you love and know, but are they the same? Because I feel that many aren't, and many more are going to fall that way, and it remains to be seen. I think some people, maybe, you know, there is the deviant numbers who have definitely been given placebo type things that this is an experiment, that you know, aren't going to have those effects. I'm hoping for some. And so this is where it's just something to be aware of, and I just wanted to put it out there again. I found it real interesting, and I'll probably come back to this subject about the saprobic and the mycorrhizal relationship mushrooms, because it's super interesting, and it's not all negative. As you can see, it can be used for real positive growth and expansion and support this symbiotic, beautiful, balanced relationship. But when that relationship gets out of balance, this is where we're going to see things really blow up, regarding things that I've called before, that the government is able with what is going on right now. They are hoping one of the results of this experiment will be that they can literally puppet and host many people through frequency, through commands over the mainstream media, through codes being sent out that way. And I know that sounds way out there, but it's what I see. And so this is where they would then be, much more than they ever have before, be hosting bodies of people that are our fellow man and woman. And so it's a difficult one for sure. Have I got the solution? No. They've backed us into a very weird corner. But me speaking it out, hopefully together we can come up with some coping mechanisms and with some solutions collectively. I'm just putting it out there again because I felt like it needed the light, and plus it's a super interesting relationship that I've come across with these two types of mushroom families. So I just wanted to put it out there, and I will touch on this again in a very different way, because again, it's got a lot of positive lessons that have come through just me knowing this relationship, through this knowledge, through this experience I'm having with the fungi. It's coming through with many spiritual teachings for me, not negative or positive, both, just knowings. And so I will touch on this again, but please be aware of this. Let me know in the comments what you've noticed that sort of correlates to this. Those of you who remember me mentioning things like this before, and what you've seen since then and what you see now, it would be really interesting to just get other people's take on it, get other people's awareness on it, because again, dialogue is important, speaking is important. It's why we're being restricted on it right now, because it is a powerful tool for knowledge, for expansion, and for greater perspectives of not just your own situation, but others' situations, which of course has the knock-on effect of more empathy. So please do share in the comments and have that dialogue be opened up here, have that conversation going, you know, comment on each other's comments. That would be fantastic for me. I love seeing that. And so I'm trying to be the glue where I can be the glue, to bring people together, to get people in communication, and for every inch that is taken away, that squeezing of that open dialogue, trying to just infuse a little bit more back in. So much love, balance and wholeness and appreciation. Mwah.